Another pastor got tasered? Huh. Maybe the police just don't like Jesus. No, that was just a joke. The police just don't like stupid people, and I tend to agree. So here's how it went down. A cop pulled somebody over in the parking lot of a building in Webster, Texas on a routine traffic stop. This building just happens to be undergoing renovations to become a church. The pastor of this church, who by the way reportedly has heart problems, walks up to the cop, identifies himself as a pastor, and then proceeds to yell at the cop. So as this is going on, the cop tries to tell the pastor to leave multiple times, but the pastor won't leave, so the cop tries to arrest him. The pastor resisted, shoved the cop away, and then ran off back into the church building. So the cop then goes after the pastor, kicks in the door of the church, which apparently causes the pastor to run back outside, and shove the second cop who showed up for backup. From what I can gather from this story, a group of people who were inside the church went outside and surrounded the first officer. The first officer then broke out his pepper spray, used it to subdue the crowd, while the second officer tased the pastor. And I'm not one to pass up a good opportunity to laugh at other people's pain, so... The mental image of dozens of people running around with pepper spray in their eyes and a pastor laying there twitching on the ground as he's being tased for being a dumbass, it's just funny. Of course, the other side of the story, coming from the pastor and the pastor's son, paints them as good Samaritans. Go figure. I am so tired of hearing about people being abused by the police. Don't get me wrong, I know that there are legitimate occurrences of improper use of force that are wrong, and abuse of power that gets out of hand, but in many cases, these guys are just doing what they're trained to do. This story, however, begs one simple question. Why in the hell would you walk up to a traffic stop and then instigate something unless you were looking to make a quick buck from a lawsuit? Honestly, what would possess a man, any man, to walk up to a cop doing his job, start yelling at him, refuse to leave, shove him, and then run off like a little bitch into a building? And on top of that, not expect anything to happen. Like the cop's just gonna walk up to him and be like, "Oh, you silly, silly pastor. You're just kidding, I know. Don't worry about it, man. You can shove me all you want. No big deal." That doesn't happen in the real world. Of course, who am I to judge if this guy was even living in the real world? I guess we'll never know. Sure, I may be wrong, but I don't think a trained police officer is going to chase after you and kick down the door of a church just for asking if he needed help. And I really doubt that he's going to pepper spray an entire crowd just for the hell of it. I really don't know why cops even bother trying to protect and serve anymore. It just seems like too big of a hassle to me. Too many people are trying to become famous by damning the man or sticking it to the pigs, so to speak. I personally wouldn't mind seeing all these dirty hippies shoved into one city that had no police. Then we could see how long it took for them to be begging for some flashing lights and sirens. Bunch of unappreciative bastards. Sure, you'll be riled up and hating authority one second, but the next, when you're being mugged by two large men in an alley who probably want to sell your kidneys on the black market, I doubt it's going to be God's name you're calling for help. Just keep that in mind the next time you think it's going to be a good idea to get in a cop's face. Just saying.